everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my Pan Lab palette, go through all the progress. This is a Fantastic Ladies collab. It is the Kicking It Old School. We all voted for what type of theme we wanted, and I'm happy that this one won, because if it had been anything else I don't think I would have joined in. But I did join in because it is just a palette that is old in your collection. It could be your oldest palette or just an older palette in your collection. This is not my oldest, but it's definitely old palette, and the formula is going. The mattes are way less pigmented than they used to. To be honest, I noticed today that they were pretty lackluster, very, very bad. I actually did a look earlier and then I had to take it off and redo a different look on top of it because all of the mattes had just flown away. They just went somewhere and I have no idea what happened to them. So yeah, the pigment has definitely gone on a lot of the shades. So anyway, this is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette, and I did pick it up when it launched. It was a limited edition. So I'll put up on the screen what it looked like last time. I did have a few goals in mind. I wanted to hit pan in the mustard shade, the Dijon shade, on the left side. I also wanted to hit pan in, not hit pan, but finish up the sea salt shade, or use quite a bit of it, because that was very crumbly and just had a lot of brown in it. So it was kind of got a little bit ruined from me dropping my palette quite a lot. And I feel like I've made some really nice progress this month. I also have hit pan in another shade that I wasn't expecting to hit pan on, so that's really exciting. So yeah, this is what it's looking like right now. I do think that obviously there's some shades that don't look any different because I have not touched them, but there are some other shades that do look different. So yeah, let's just go through it, shall we? Because what else are we gonna do? All right, so Sandy Bum I've used twice. This one is definitely losing its pigment. I feel like I should probably just try to get through it and be done with it, because there's no point keeping it around. Rise and Shine I actually have on my lids today. That's the little pop of gold that I have. It's a pretty shade. I just don't go for gold all that much. Then we've got Spiced and Parezzo. I did not use these at all this month, so, you know, there's nothing to say about it. I will say with Parezzo though, it is my favorite shade in the palette, and the reason I'm not using it is because it's my favorite shade, so I just don't want to run out. This one is Coconut, and this one I've used 7 times, and as you can see, I have an itty bitty pan. I actually hit pan on it today when I did my look. I wasn't expecting it, but it is a really beautiful shade, and it is very pigmented. It's a little powdery, as they all are, but I don't mind this one actually. This one is really pretty. And then we've got Dijon down here, which is one of the ones that I wanted to hit pan on. It really massively clashes with my Project Level Up palette, which is the Honey, so I just wanted to hit pan on it and kind of maybe move away from it for a little bit. So I did. I actually hit a baby pan and then I used it again. And it expanded, so I've only used it twice this month. Sea Salt I've used 7 times. I have paired it quite a lot with this one. I actually have it on my inner corner. It is pretty, but I haven't finished it, as you can see. It's just, you know, it's not the best shade, but when it's on the lids, it actually does look quite pretty. So yeah, I still want to finish this. I just wasn't able to finish it completely. Then we've got Fuego here, which is, I actually used this today. I used this once this month, and this was in the look that I had to wipe off because the pigment had just completely disappeared. So I don't know what to do with the shade. It just didn't have the same impact as it used to have, which is a shame. These two I have not used. This is Sip Sit and Bajama. I have not used this month. I'm kind of not using any greens because I am working on my Earthly palette from Beauty Bay, which is pretty much a green palette, so any greens in other projects or palettes I'm mostly avoiding because I'm trying to do No Pan Left Behind. And then I have the Tropicana here, which I used 3 times this month. This one is not as powdery as all of the other mattes in the palette, and it's not very pigmented, so I have to really kind of dig in there to get anything. But the fact that it's not powdery, I'm actually not losing any product when I do go in. You know, if I go into like this one, if I go into this one for instance, or Sandy Bum, Dijon, you know, even this Cocoa down here, if I go into them as much as I have gone in to Tropicana, I don't know, that I would have like nothing left because I really have to dig in to get the product. So it's I don't know, I guess it's just a different type of matte. It's formulated slightly different. It's not as nice, and I think the pigment has always been a bit weak in that one, to be fair. But anyway, Caliente I did not use. Cocoa I used twice. Fortuna I used once. Royal I used once, did not use Disco, and Nightlife I used twice. So yeah, you know what? I have enjoyed it. I've used the palette 15 times in total this month, but those 15 times would be all 15 different looks, so that'd be 15 different days. But sometimes when I did go and grab it, it was just for one shade. So that's why there's not that much use in all of the shades. I'm not one of these people that's going to be here telling you I used this shade 22 times, I used this shade 19 times in this month, because I'm just simply working on too many other eyeshadow palettes, and I don't want to, you know, just have this one to use every day. It would just bore me to tears. So I haven't been doing that, but I have used it 15 days, which is quite a bit. Considering I only did my makeup, I think, around 20-ish, maybe 21, 22 times this last month. So yeah, I think it's, you know, it's a good decent amount. So that's my update for my Pan That palette. I will do an update on my side hustle in this video. So I have been, since January, I did a little bit last year, but since January I've been rolling in one shade from my collection at random, depending on you know, what the shade name starts with. And I'm just working on that shade for the month. So I've been pulling a shade that begins with the letter of the month, basically. So for April now, I need to pull in a shade that starts with A. So I have just put all of my shades in my spreadsheet and filtered them A to Z just to get the first one that pops up. The first one actually was Acapulco from my chilled palette from Revolution, and that already has a pan in it, so I didn't want to pull that one, but I have pulled another one. So the next one was from my Techni Days palette from Beauty Bay, and it is the shade Acid. Now I did think about rolling this one out just simply because of what I said about my Shop My Stash palette. My Earthly palette is just got so many greens in it, but I did have a look at it and it doesn't have this exact shade in it. This is a little bit lighter and more green than the lightest green in that Earthly palette, so I think I can do it. I think I can pair with it, and this one is for me to just roll in a shade to work on for the month, see how many uses I get. So this one I have rolled in. I just forgot to tell you what I was working on in March, because I'm just going all over the place. The shade that I've been working on this last month is from the Berries from Beauty Bay, and it is the shade Macaron, because obviously it starts with an M, and it's this shade right here. It's a beautiful salmon shade, and this one I've used 4 times, so obviously haven't hit pan or anything like this. It's a brand new palette for me. I didn't think I was going to be able to hit pan. Sadly, I haven't actually used all of these other shades this month. I thought I would, but I just never got round to it, so I need to do a no pan left behind on this palette. But you know, we'll have to do that some other time. But yeah, this one's gonna be rolling out and this one is rolling in, which I'm excited about. But yeah, that is my update. I'm so sorry that I'm like rushing through this. I literally have been talking for 2 hours straight now, and hopefully I don't have to redo these videos again. Otherwise, I might just lose my mind and delete my channel altogether. So hopefully everyone is doing well. And yeah, thank you so much for your support and watching me. And if you haven't already subscribed, I really appreciate it. But thank you so much, and I will see you all next time. Bye.